I want you to think about the last television show that made you stop everything and watch. Not just glance at, not just have on the background. I mean, really watch. Lean forward, cancel plans, tell people to shut up because you couldn't miss a single word. What was it about that show? I'll tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't good. Good shows, they get canceled. Good shows get forgotten. Good shows blend into the background of noise. Everything else, it's just fine. That's what it blends into. Just fine. The shows you remember, though, the ones that change everything, they're not good. They're unforgettable. And you're probably thinking of a few right now. And that, right then and there, the difference between good and great and being unforgettable is a massive difference. So last week, we discovered your vibe, your voice, your identity, your brand, and your edge. This week, I'm going to show you how to turn that vibe into something the world cannot ignore. Starting with why being good is the enemy of being unforgettable. So let me tell you about a show that should have worked. Undercover High. By all means, it should have been a game changer. I thought it was going to be. The concept was brilliant. Adults pose as students for 4 months to understand the challenges teenagers face today. Because, frankly, kids don't talk to adults, but they talk to other kids posing as adults. And no one knew. So we loved it, right? All my colleagues loved it, thought it was genius. We've had the success of 60 Days In behind us, where regular people go undercover in prisons. It's a huge hit. So what about undercover in schools? So that's when I did think, as somebody who helped create 60 Days In, let's take this undercover concept into schools. We worked a long time for this, 2 years. Spent millions in production. Everything you'd want in a television show. And then it premiered. And it flopped. I mean, they say kids don't talk to adults, but apparently adults don't watch them pretend to be kids either. The concept, strong. The production, solid. It was good. Good wasn't enough. Because while I was making something good, other shows were being unforgettable. Right at that same time. Here's what I learned after 22 years as a television executive. Good is forgettable. Unforgettable is magnetic. A good show checks all of the boxes. Solid idea, decent casting, well shot, clean edits. You'd watch it once, maybe even enjoy it, and then never think about it again. Networks pass on hundreds of good pitches. I have, every year. Because they don't just stick. There's just something about it that doesn't work. The unforgettable ones weren't necessarily better made. Sometimes they were messier, rougher, even riskier. That's what the unforgettable ones do. But they had one thing the good shows didn't. An edge. Duck Dynasty? It's a pretty polished series, but not the most polished. But it had characters so distinct, you couldn't stop talking about them. Intervention, not just a documentary. It was raw, uncomfortable, emotional. People debated at water coolers. They talked about it the next day because it got under their skin, something about it. And 60 Days In wasn't just about life in jails. It was about ordinary people taking a wild, unthinkable risk. Would you do it? Would you go undercover in a jail for 60 days? I think not. And that shock factor made that series unforgettable. As an executive, I developed a simple test for every pitch that came across my desk. And in fact, Y'all pitch me ideas, and I still do this still do this today. If the pitch made me nod my head, it was good. I'm giving away my secrets, by the way. But if it made me sit up, grab a pen, and say, wait. I need to tell someone about this right away, right now. That's unforgettable. Good blends in, unforgettable polarizes. In TV, if no one argued about your show, cried during it, or quoted it back to their friends, it wasn't going to last. The same applies to your brand, your personal brand, and your professional brand. You can be good, professional, polished, consistent, but you're still going to disappear in the noise. To be unforgettable, you have to lean into the edges that make you a little uncomfortable. The quirks, the raw emotion, the thing that people won't care about. For me, it was TV production itself. I thought nobody would care about my behind-the-scenes stories. Turns out, that's exactly what makes me magnetic. You love when I talk about my 22 years of television. And all of this is what I call the $2 bill principle. Most people trying to be the penny. Common. Expected. Safe. Good enough. But the $2 bill stands out because it's different. Not because it's worth more. A $2 bill is worth exactly $2. But because it's rare, because it's unexpected, because it makes people stop and look, it's exciting. Because when someone hands you a $2 bill, what do? You stop. You look at it. You show it to other people. You keep it. Because it's unforgettable. And most people, they see a $2 bill, think it's fake. Have you ever done that with a 1 or a 5? No. But that $2 bill, it's rare. It's real. And that's the difference between good and unforgettable. Good tries to fit in. Unforgettable stands out. And here's what I've learned. In a world full of pennies, lots of pennies, being the $2 bill isn't about being better. It's about being different. It's about willing to be a little misunderstood by some people so you can be unforgettable by the right people. It's about choosing memorable over safe. It's about choosing unforgettable over good. When Undercover High failed, I was devastated. I had to face a room full of my colleagues and admit it's wrong. But here's what I learned from that failure. Even the best concepts can be forgettable if they don't have that unforgettable edge. The prison environment in 60 Days In created tension that school simply couldn't match. So I didn't change my approach, I refined it. Sometimes even strong concepts don't land, but you can't stop trying just because one misses. So here's the choice you have to make today. You can keep trying to be good. You can keep checking the boxes. You can keep playing it safe. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You'll be acceptable. You'll be forgettable. Or choose to be the $2 bill. You can choose to be different. You can choose to stand out. You can choose to be impossible to ignore. But here's the thing. You can't be both. You can't be safe and memorable. You can't be common and unforgettable. You can't be the penny and the $2 bill. You have to choose. And all this week, I'm going to show you how to make that choice. How to escape the rare versus common track. How to escape the rare versus common trap. How to turn your weird into your worth. How to position yourself so you're impossible to ignore. How to become the $2 bill in your industry. But it starts with this. Stop trying to be good. Start trying to be unforgettable. So if you discovered your vibe last week, now it's time to turn that into your $2 bill advantage. And if you haven't taken it, the Vibe Finder GPT will help you understand what makes you different, what makes you rare, what makes you the $2 bill. The link is below. Do it now. It's 5 minutes. That's it. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you the rare versus common trap and how most people get stuck trying to be everything to everyone. Is that familiar? Did I just hit ya? Because once you understand this trap, you'll never fall into it again. And you'll be one step closer to becoming unforgettable. See you then. Be unforgettable. Be the $2 bill.